So, a few days ago, my oldest son, we were talking and he brought up the fact that he's never going to let somebody do to him what happened to him in the 6th grade at that school, the principal, the teachers, all of that, who allowed him to get treated the way he did, right? He's like, I'm never going to let that happen to me again, right? And I'm like, okay, you shouldn't. I'm cool with that, right? But where he needed a little bit of guidance, which is why it is so crucial to allow your children to talk to you when they just come and they just talking and they just talking and you talking, and it ends up going into what's deeply on their mind, right? And then you'll be able to steer them in the direction that they need to go and give them the guidance that they need per every part of the conversation that you have with them. So he says, so basically he was questioning me because I was saying, despite the fact that you don't feel, and I told him, my story about how my dad tried to violate me, and I stood up for myself and made sure that nothing happened to me. I made sure that I protected my body and protected it from people who were supposed to be protecting me. I let him know that sometimes it does get to a point where you have to protect your body. But other than that, there's no reason for you to engage in anything when it comes to, at this age, he's 19 in a few days. And it's like, you're now working, you're doing things in the real world now. It's not just home. You're taking up all of these little classes and things, and you're on your path. And on your path, there's going to be people who treated you the way that you were treated in the 6th grade. And I feel like this is a clearing for him. Like he is actively healing his childhood wounds as he grow up, because he has a mom who's actively helping him do that. But for me, I had to heal my childhood wounds, as an adult, like maybe, after I had my kids. So when he says to me, oh, well, I know that when they were bullying me, even before the physical started, there was a lot of words being said to me, and I didn't know how to defend myself. I didn't know what to say. And so I was quiet, and I'm like, well, I basically explained to him, like, you were not used to that kind of environment. So of course you were quiet because you were shocked. You didn't know what was going on or how to handle it. You had no experience with it. But in the future, if anything happens and there's somebody saying something to you, there is a way to handle that. And for me, I just wanted him to understand that it's okay to have a debate. I was on the debate team at St. Vincent Academy in Newark, New Jersey. I definitely love a good debate, but if the person is just, they're not going to be able to hear where you're coming from, they're not trying to hear where you're coming from, then just don't even waste your time. I can understand a constructive debate, but arguing because somebody is saying something, is a waste of time. There's no reason to do that. It's a waste of time. So he understood that, and why I said it, because I ended it with, if they're not physically trying to harm you or physically touching you in any way that you don't want to be touched, then that's when you can go ahead and protect yourself, right? So I said all of this to just explain that our kids, they grow up, they experience things in life that we don't want for them to experience, but they do. And our job is to make sure that they understand the lesson in that, and that the experience was for their growth and not for them to decline because of their dissatisfaction with other people's behavior. Because them declining in life is not going to make that person change, or anything that happened with that person be any different. So it's all about self-control, self-discipline, and staying focused on where you want to go in life, and not letting people get you off track and have you go down another path that could possibly be so far off your path that you're supposed to be on, that it's going to be hard to get back to that original spot where you were at, where you were able to basically, that split decision, where you were able to make the decision to walk away and let that shit be because they just talking, right? It's okay to protect yourself. It's okay to stand up for yourself and your loved ones. But when people talk, and let them do that. Because at the core of the evaluation of what's happening in front of you, if you actually look at it the way I'm saying it, and you say, okay, let me look at the core of this, while they yapping, just be in your mind like, let me look at the core of this. And you'll figure out the core of this is to get me off my motherfucking path. Oh, okay. Okay. And then when they done talking, and you have already, I say by the time you figure out that part, you could just go ahead and walk away. You can't argue by yourself. If you want to argue by yourself, that's okay too. But I won't be there to witness it or hear it or be frustrated by it. I will not be bothered by it. It's definitely important to be unbothered. And I feel like that takes growth too. But it is possible to be unbothered. I promise you. It's possible to stand up for something without fear. It's like, listen, God is your life insurance. God is your health insurance. God is your assurance. God is your protection. God is your teacher. You are God's possession. God will not let nobody steal you from him. God will not let anything happen to you. God has a divine, beautiful plan for your life. And if you just focus on God and your relationship with God and build that relationship with God, baby, you'll see it's not worth it. Why would you have to engage in any activities in defense when God is protecting you? He's guiding you. You follow the guidance, that is your protection. And if somebody violates and physically tries to do something to you, obviously you have every right to protect yourself. And whatever the legal system issues are with that in respects to God saying that we have a right to protect our vessel, these laws that they have in place, just because they're laws here, do not mean that they are acceptable in divine court, in spiritual court. So they can make whatever ruling and decisions that they want to make, but at the end of the day, at the end of it all, when it's all said and done, you will get your justice and you will be sent on your way, on your path, the way you were supposed to be sent. And it's just going to be proof to you that despite you falling into having to defend yourself, being forced into having to defend yourself or defend the ones you love, and these people trying to banish you for that, lock you away, restrict you for that, and thinking that it is the final word. It is reassurance that God is definitely not in agreement with them. And you get justice. That is meant for you to see that regardless of what anybody do on this 3D, the final word is with God. He said they do what he say so. Everybody do what he say so. Regardless of whatever they think. I done told y'all about that whole free will shit. Everybody's still gonna do what he say so. Doesn't matter. Your free will just gonna tell him where he need to put you at when it comes to what he say next about or speaking over your life to be next for you. What he says about your decision making. Because he is going to measure your heart. So I always want my son to move in that energy, knowing that. We don't need crash outs, but we do need protectors. We do need people who are going to stand up for something that's worth standing up for. I'm here to say it with your chest. Yeah. You need people that's going to say it with their chest and not fall into deceptive traps, allowing somebody to have control over your feelings and how you react and when you make a move. If people are trying to trigger you to make a move, it's because they know that the longer you get to sit and think, the better your fucking strategy gonna be. So let that sink in. They know. They gotta keep fucking with you because your time alone in solitude, battery recharged. And when the battery is recharged, the voltage is too high for them to plug into. And then they can't stop you. That's the kind of men we raising in this household. That's the kind of people I want following my channel. And I know that's rare far and wide, but we're going to make sure that number grow. We're going to make sure the collective can see. Because I just think it's a matter of changing the glasses or the lenses, putting a hearing aid in or something, use braille, something, whatever way we can communicate this, we're going to do it. And that's signed by God. I'm signing out.